Today's a very special day because someone is turning 7 months old, and I'll give you a hint, it's not me. So it's time for another installment of my honest review of life with a 6-month-old puppy. I thought the 5th month was good. The 6th month is so much better. I feel like the first few months with Vigo, he just wouldn't stop biting. He was honestly embarrassing to take anywhere because he just wanted to bite everyone and everything. And I feel like we finally reached a phase where his biting of people is at pretty much 0, I would say. Except for the odd occasion when like he's tired and you're trying to put his collar on and he doesn't want the collar on. He no longer chews for sport, if you see what I mean. He only bites when he's trying to communicate that he's frustrated or that he doesn't like that you're doing something, which I respect. He's Stan, a king that can set boundaries. Though maybe he can learn to set boundaries without his teeth, I don't know. It's been so nice to see him spending time with people and have him not be as bitey. Overall, he's just so sweet. I love the kind of relationship that we're building. I said this last time too, but I really feel like even more than a month ago, we are a team. Every morning, my husband opens his crate and Vigo comes and we snuggle in bed together. That is my favorite time of the whole day because Vigo is a sleepy puppy and he will happily sleep in until like 10 a.m. if you let him. You don't let him, but he would if you let him. I love when in the morning he will come up to me, put his back to me, and then just like, he's trying to get in my nook, you know? He's trying to get as close to me as possible. This is why I wanted to get a dog, for the companionship, for the endless love. I finally feel like we're at that point. I'm so excited to see what the next month will hold because I feel like the first 2 months were a shit show, for lack of a better phrase. And I feel like by month 5, it was starting to get better. And by month 6, it was just like so much better. So I'm excited to see what month 7 will hold for us. Are you excited too? I'm also feeling like I'm starting to see some of the training that we've done actually come to life, in the sense of the neutrality training that we've done, not allowing him to greet other dogs and people on leash. I feel like getting to have the mental capabilities or maturity to better take advantage of his impulse control and not bark and pull at everyone and everything. We've gone for a few walks now where we've walked past other dogs, and he's just been totally chill, and that's what we want. Love you so much. Whereas there was definitely a point where I was like, is this working? Are we doing the right thing? I now feel even more confident that we made the right choice in terms of not allowing him on leash greetings or to greet people on leash or strangers, because I feel like, especially with strangers now, he is more calm than he's ever been before. People he knows and dogs he knows, he's less calm, so we need to work on that. But I also appreciate that he's a puppy and we all get excited when we see someone that we love, right? In terms of the bad, I did touch on this last month, but the humping. I would say in the last week, the humping's gotten marginally more frequent than before. Every night, especially when he's tired, he will get into a humpy mood. And for some reason, he loves to hump a blanket. If ever you pick a towel up or pick a blanket up, he will often go and try and hump that towel or blanket. So I'm trying not to discipline him for it, but I want him to know that it's not a behavior that we want him to rehearse. In terms of the ugly, we're starting to see very, very, very early signs, I would say, of adolescence hitting. There are times when I give him cues or commands that in the past he would have known like that, whereas now he's being a little bit more selective about what he wants to listen to, so we need to work on that for sure. Overall, super, super happy with him, very much in love. And so funny because I would say the first month to 2 months that we brought Vigo home, I made a video about the puppy blues. My husband and I were like, oh my God, did we do the right thing? Can we hack this? Can we make it through this? Now, every single day, probably multiple times a day, we just look at him and say, oh my gosh, we're so in love. He's so beautiful. He's so wonderful. I'm so glad he's part of our family. It's a really beautiful phase to be in with him right now. And I'm hoping that adolescence doesn't hit us too hard, but I'm kind of expecting the worst and hoping for the best, if you see what I mean. But sometimes I just want to squeeze him because I love him so much. One other thing to add, which I wouldn't say is good, bad, or ugly, is that his body is developing more into an adult. And by that, what I mean is his balls are starting to come in. Sorry for talking about your balls online, buddy. In case anyone was curious about when you might expect that to start happening, we have seen that in that 6th month mark. But I hope that's helpful. Let me know if any questions, and pray for us that the 7th month is as wonderful as the 6th.